Video, I wanted to walk you through all the elements, all the ingredients you need in order to hit 6 figures and do over 100K per month on TikTok Shop. So currently on YouTube, I've seen other creators or folks post videos about how to be successful on TikTok Shop as a 6 or 7 figure sellers. But in this video, I wanted to give you all the right information, all the details that you need in order to seek success. So a little bit about us. So we're a TikTok Shop focused agency currently scaling established brands and shops to 7 figures currently on TikTok Shop. So to give you an example here, so this is one of the shops that we recently scaled since March. And so for the past 53 days, we have actually almost done 200K in revenue for this store. So definitely, I think what I'm about to go over here is exactly what we did and how we select the products and shops that we think have the highest potential to scale as aggressive as we can. So real quickly here, so I recently started a school group where I would love to kind of share more insights and free value for folks who are just starting out the space, who are making their first 10K on TikTok Shop. So it's absolutely free. Wanted to just to continue to share more value there with folks. So hope to see you inside, and I will link the school group link below so that you can join. It just give you and walk through this checklist of the things that we see that puts sellers and shops at the best position to succeed on TikTok Shop right now. So in terms of category, so the first, obviously is when we onboard clients, when we onboard shops internally to the agency, but we think these are also things that sellers could take a look at and see how many of these things that they check for their shop, and what's the likelihood that they will see success. As more checkboxes that are ticked, the more likelihood that they will see success. So first thing is proven products. So essentially what this means is, are we seeing other sellers or shops doing well with this specific exact same product, similar product, adjacent categories, and stuff like that. So to give you an example here, so if I look at the top selling products right now on Calidata, and to see, okay, so for example, there is a supplement product similar to this 50-day cleanse gut and colon support. This shop came to us and say, hey, we have a very similar product to the top 1 best-selling item right now on TikTok Shop. Do you think we have a chance to have success on TikTok Shop? The simple answer is obviously yes. What we have noticed and seen is when a product goes viral, the easiest thing to do for new sellers or people who want to take advantage of it is just create a similar or identical product. Obviously, you will run into issues with this strategy because you are essentially selling a counterfeit and it potentially get banned right away on the platform. But if we take that out of the equation and not consider if we don't consider the policy downsides and just simply look at, okay, how to pick and how to select the best products, we think selecting products that have already gone viral, that have already seen success, is the easiest way to do it. Alrighty, so that is for proven products. Now let's talk about AOV, price point. So if we go back to Calidata again and look at the average price point here, so it's not hard to see a trend, which is essentially all the top 10 products right now currently are below $30. So this one is a little bit above, but it's essentially anything that's below $30 or even below $10 are doing really, really well. Look at this one. So this is a air freshener diffuser. It's like $5, under 10, and around 10. So this is also one thing we really pay attention to when we select the shops and sellers that have the most chance of succeeding, which is if the AOV is below $30, if even better, below $20, or even below $10. Now, moving on to units sold already existing on the platform. So when we get approached by brands and sellers, the first thing, other than those two, the third thing we look at is, okay, how many units have already sold right now on the platform for this shop? If the shop has 0 sold, let's say, or 1 or 2 sold, that is oftentimes not a good sign for us because there is no proven demand or proven initial traction. So in this case, what we recommend sellers to do is first run some ads, put some dollar behind some of the creatives and content that you already have, and get to that 50 units sold as soon as possible, because that is the baseline that we think will get us from 1 to 100. Because cold starting and without that 50 units sold is incredibly slow, and it's just a very high risk phase where we don't know if it's going to work, and it's, you know, a waste of time for both the seller and for the agency. So this is why we have almost a hard requirement, which is we would like to see if the product has already sold at 50 units minimum. And then next is, so this kind of like goes into pricing, because right now TikTok Shop is still very much a price sensitive platform where if you can get a good deal, if you can promote a good deal, it's the easiest thing on earth to promote. But if your product is just naturally more expensive, it's just naturally also much more challenging to promote. So in this case, for products, let's say our AOV above $50, what is an exclusive discount or sales, a promo that this seller can do on TikTok Shop? If they're able to promote something, let's say $50 a retail price, but discount it down to 35 or even 28, I know it's very aggressive, but this is what it takes, what it requires to see success right now on TikTok Shop. That will really put this shop in a much better position to succeed. And next thing, so this is more for our agency perspective, which is, okay, so all those check boxes are ticked. Now we need to set the right expectations, set the right milestones. So for us, we really look at the first, rather than 30 days, but more like 45 days, and then 60 days, and then 90 days to evaluate the progress and evaluate the results. All right, so those are some of the onboarding items. Now let's move on to affiliate marketing. So at the agency currently, you know, the key kind of one of the pillars to success is affiliate marketing. And we think if you wanted to really run this and to get virality as soon as possible, to set the commission, you need to start as aggressive as you can, which is above 30%. So for all shops and sellers that we are currently managing, we recommend, and basically this is what we set in the beginning, which is 30% and to start, because there are so many other sellers are fighting for the same pool of affiliates, and affiliates have limited bandwidth. Most of them have, you know, a full-time job, so they're not doing this full-time capacity. So they're only selecting products, first of all, that they think could succeed, and second, if they're going to make enough money if they decided to promote this product. So the first point kind of like goes back to why we really much, you know, put emphasis on you need to have 50 units sold already on the product listing. Otherwise, the affiliate just not going to take this product seriously because they haven't seen the initial traction yet. Okay, so yeah, commission set above 30%. And then the next thing is for the seller, do they have enough inventory to guarantee that we can send 15 to 20 samples a day minimum? So sometimes we would love to send 40 if that's possible. Obviously, the more the better, but the minimum floor here is 15 to 20 samples a day. And then next is we need to have a hit rate of 5% of the first 200 videos. So what this translates to is 10 videos off of the 200 that we create for the first 45 days should go viral. That should have generated, let's say, above $500 in GMV organically. So it's a pretty good sign for us that, hey, this product could easily go viral. And a few affiliates here have already done above 100K GMV, $500 GMV, and there's definitely potential to continue to run those as ads to grow. So then after that, so now we have these 10 best performing videos, you know, probably have generated, let's say, combined over 10K in GMVs. And then those affiliates will be the targets that we're going to continue to partner up with and, you know, train them to become better, tell them what other ideas that they should do in their videos. And essentially, we want to create a community of these top performing affiliates so we can put them on a WhatsApp group, a Facebook group with Discord, and be sure to, you know, also give them rewards timely, like, for example, a commission bump or even cash bonus to encourage these affiliates to continue to make more videos, because essentially these are the folks that are going to really move and drive the affiliate GMV now going forward. The rest of, let's say, 95% or 90% of the affiliates just really not going to materialistically generate a scaled GMV for the brand and the shop. Alright, so that is affiliate marketing. Now let's move on to products and offerings. So we have already kind of go over this in the onboarding items section, but I wanted to iterate some of these again here. So first is the seller be able to do flash deals 1 or twice a month? So this kind of like goes back to the whole discounting and sales thing, because essentially right now users are incredibly price sensitive on TikTok Shop. If you're able to promote products easily and promote a very good deal, you will be much likely to see success. And then again, going back to the AOV thing, okay, so if you look at the single SKUs, what are SKUs, what are products are under $20? Let's push that. Okay, look at the bundles. What are bundles that are under $30? Let's push those. So we are taking a very strategic approach to selecting the right SKU, the right product. Then again, iterating the same stuff here. We wanted to run ads or own content posted to organic TikTok account to drive that first 50 to 100 units sold at all costs. So, this is why we we turn down a lot of the sellers and shops that want to work with us. But if we don't see the first, established demand, the proven market concept, we just don't know if it's ready for growth. So be sure, I think, for sellers and merchants here, do whatever it takes to get to that 50 and 100 units sold. Alrighty, so let's talk about ads then. Obviously, in this approach, we are going to run ads right away. We need to get that first 50, 100 units sold. So roughly the budget that I will set is $5,000. To start for the first 45 days, most likely you're going to start with your own content. And then for the months 2, bump that up 2x to $10,000, and then month 3, $20,000. So at this point, we are really assuming that the revenue is already somewhere touching the 6-figure mark here, with $20,000 in ad budget, and we have a few videos are hitting with a 5% hit rate here. Cool. So now let's talk about finally own content. So I would say 3 months or 2 months ago, we don't really put much emphasis on own content by merchants or seller themselves, because at the point we just don't see this be a prerequisite to success. But now, obviously, as our goal is to be a 6-figure TikTok Shop seller to do 100K per month, then we need to also, digging into and be creating our own content on the account, on the brand's own TikTok account. The reason why we're doing this is it's all about opportunity cost. There is a trade-off between everything. So for brands that don't want to do own content, obviously the trade-off is the growth is going to be slower. You have less control. Affiliates are the creators or accounts drive brand exposure, conversions solely for the shop. Versus if the shop decides to do their own content, obviously the flywheel is going to spin faster. The growth is a lot easier. Brands are able to see success. If affiliates going to take a little bit time, at least they can start to see some immediate success with own content and with their own in-house creation. So I guess this is actually a good point to continue that point on trade-offs, which is, hey, this is absolutely not the only way to go about things. I admit some of these stuff that I listed here are very aggressive. Probably brands are going to be like, hey, I'm not going to make any money. I'd probably be losing money if I follow the strategy in month 1 and month 2, even in month 3. But again, this is a trade-off. If you want to grow slow and profitably, yeah, feel free to do that by, by being very stringent with commissions, selecting affiliates, only sending 10 or 5 samples requests a day, and not run any ads, and just want to grow organically. Go ahead. I think I'm not saying this is the only way to do things, and there are brands that just wanted to dabble into TikTok Shop without the goal of very much see growth or success right away. And if you're in that boat, I absolutely recommend you to do that, because again, I think that what we are trying to do at our agency is to help sellers to capitalize and take market share as fast as possible. And with that goal in mind, there will be trade-offs that we need to make, and there will be things that we need to sacrifice initially. So that is why, for us, it's very, very important that all these things are checked to make sure that we are onboarding the right growth partners for our service, because right now on TikTok Shop is absolutely, the best opportunity right now. In the same vein, there will be stuff and things that sellers are willing to take in order to really see that exponential success that we are doing for shops who have already done these things. So this is just a video where I wanted to, just share my own perspective and our agency perspective on what it takes to be successful right now on TikTok Shop. And I'm well aware that things are going to change again. This has already looked pretty different from what we were preaching, let's say 2-3 months ago. So I'm anticipating this is going to change again in Q3 and Q4 this year. But right now, in April, going into May, I think this is the playbook. This is the things that sellers and merchants need to be willing to do to see success.